Hello and welcome to an
Welcome
introduction
to an
to
introduction
qualitative
to
research.
qualitative research. My name is Lorelei Jones, and I'm an anthropologist with experience of evaluating healthcare programs. I will be talking about some approaches to collecting qualitative data. So what is qualitative research? The author Sharon Merriam suggests that qualitative
So
research
what is qualitative
is
research?
about understanding the
Well,
meaning
the author
people have
Sharon Merriam
constructed.
suggests that qualitative
That
research
is
is
how
about
people
understanding the
make
meaning
sense
that people have
of or
constructed.
perceive
So
their
that
world,
is how they make sense of or
and the
perceive their world
experiences
and
they
the
have in the
experiences
world.
they have in the world. With
With
regards
regard
to
to
understanding how people
construct
construct meaning, we might want to focus on the
we might
ideas
focus
that
on the
people express
ideas
through
that
language
people
that can be
express
spoken,
through
written or
language.
embodied.
It could be spoken,
For individuals
written,
or groups that we're
embodied.
interested in, we would want to know what being in
For the
their world
individuals
means
or
for
groups
them.
that we are interested in,
A weakness of
we want
Sharon
to know
Merriam's
what being in
definition of
their
qualitative
world
research is
means
that
to them.
Merriam only talks about people, and we can equally study
If we think about
organisations,
trying to
healthcare
understand the
systems,
world of
political
healthcare
activity,
services,
states and economies
this
as
might
well.
include roles and
If we think about
responsibilities,
trying to understand the world of healthcare
relationships,
services, this might include things like roles
service
and
users,
responsibilities, relationships,
policies,
service users, policies,
information
information
systems,
systems, physical spaces,
physical
technologies,
spaces,
and of course understanding the effects of change over time in
technologies,
many different aspects of this world.
and of course
So we'd like to
understanding
know
the
how different
effects
groups
of change
experience
over
the world,
time
this
in
changing,
these
unfolding
aspects.
environment in which they inhabit. And we do this by trying to learn
So we
something
would
about
like
their
to know how
everyday
different
lives
groups
and how they're
experience
influenced by
this
specific
world,
changes in the health
this
service
changing,
environment,
unfolding
which might be
environment
a
which they
newly
inhabit.
defined occupational role or a
And we
new
do this
appointment booking
to
system,
try to
a
learn
patient
something
safety
about their
improvement
everyday
programme, or the
lives
introduction of a patient
and how
pathway.
these are influenced by specific changes in the health service environment, which might be a newly defined occupational role, a new appointment booking system, a patient safety improvement programme, or the introduction of a new patient pathway.
So what are the main qualitative methods that are used in evaluations in healthcare
On this
research?
slide are some of the main qualitative
Well, the first of these
methods
is interviews,
used
and
in
interviews can be
evaluation.
described as a conversation with a participant in your evaluation in
Interviews.
which questions are directed towards the
These involve
interviewer's particular needs for collecting
a
data.
conversation
So interview
with the
questions
participant
can
in
be
your
structured,
evaluation
semi-structured, or the
that
interview
is
may instead
directed
be
towards the
unstructured
interviewer's
and
particular
revolve
needs
around
for
a
data.
theme. Another method is focus groups. Focus groups are an organised
Focus groups.
discussion with a selected group of individuals to gain
This is
information
an
about their
organised discussion
views
with
on
a
a
selected group of
specific and usually
individuals
predefined
to gain
topic.
information about their views
And then we have documentary
on a particular
sources. So
topic.
these are relevant pre-existing documents that you can collect and use as data rather than needing to
Documentary
create new
sources.
data by conducting interviews and focus groups.
These are
Documents
relevant
might include
pre-existing
previous
documents
research on a
that you
topic,
can collect and
publicly
use as
available
data,
records, internal
rather than needing to
reports,
create
minutes
new
of
data by
meetings,
conducting
and email
interviews and
chains
focus groups.
such as discussion lists. And last but not
Documents might
least,
include previous
observations.
research evidence on
Observations
the
are a
topic,
method through which you generate your data by
publicly
watching and
available
observing
records,
people in events to find
internal
out about
reports, minutes of a
behaviours and
meeting,
interactions that are
and
taking
email
place in
chains,
natural
such
settings.
as a discussion
And it's
list.
very much about studying people in the context of their daily lives, so recording
Finally,
and documenting
observation.
what people say and do.
Observation is one of the
And
strongest
observations
methods for
can be
evaluation,
participant
as
or
it allows you to assess
non-participant
what is actually
observation.
happening in practice,
And in many cases, people
as
often
opposed to what
combine
people say
qualitative
is happening.
research methods rather than just
And it has
using
been
one
used
method
for great
alone.
effect, for example, in studies of medication safety. So what role might
qualitative research play in evaluation?
It could
Well,
be used to describe
qualitative
how an
research
intervention
could be
has
used to
affected
describe
service
how an
users'
intervention has
experiences of
affected
healthcare.
service users' experiences of healthcare. In some
Or
studies,
they could be
interviews will
used
be
to identify
conducted with
barriers
staff and or
facilitators
patients both
to
before and
implementation
after
of
an
an intervention
intervention in order to
from the
determine how
perspective
their
of different
experience
staff
has
groups.
changed. Qualitative research could be
As
used
part
to
of mixed
identify
methods
barriers and
evaluation,
facilitators to
they
the
could be used to
implementation of
describe
an
how and
intervention
why an
from the
intervention has
perspective of
worked
different staff
or not.
groups. And an important role of qualitative studies is to
Or
obtain
they
the
could be
views of
used to
different
explore
health
the role of an
professionals because of the
intervention
perceived
in the
costs and
context of other
benefits of an
improvement work.
intervention, which can vary by stakeholder group. In mixed method studies, qualitative research could be used to describe how and why an intervention that has been shown to have an impact quantitatively has those effects. Adding a qualitative component to the study in this way can bring about a greater depth of information and understanding about the processes involved in implementing a successful intervention so that those processes might be replicated elsewhere. And finally, qualitative research can be used to place a given intervention in the context of other improvement activity so that its role relative to other improvement work can be evaluated. And that brings us to an end of this introduction to qualitative research. And thank you for listening.